I came here for my U.S. citizenship test.
Good morning. Can I have your appointment notice and state ID, please?
Sure, here you go.
I need to take your picture and scan your fingerprints right here. Can you please move one step closer and look at the camera in front of you?
Sure.
Now can you please place your left index finger on the scanner? Okay. Everything is perfect. Take your notice and your ID back with you, and wait for your turn. The officer should be here in a moment.
Thank you.
Maria Martinez?
Yes, that's me.
Hi, I am Officer Leo Brown, and I will conduct your naturalization interview today.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, officer.
Please follow me. How are you doing today?
It's great. Thank you. And how about you?
I am good too. Thank you for asking. Can I have your USCIS appointment letter, passport, green card, and state-issued ID?
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you very much. Please put your things beside your chair and have a seat.
Thank you.
Do you understand why you are here today?
Yes, I am here for my citizenship interview.
Why do you want to become a U.S. citizen?
Because I believe in the form of government and want to vote.
Do you feel well prepared for your interview today?
Yes, I do.
That's great. How long did it take you to get here?
It took 30 minutes to get here.
How are you eligible to become a United States citizen?
I have been a lawful permanent resident for over 3 years.
Did you come here voluntarily?
Yes, I did. I've been looking forward to this day.
Do you have any physical disability or mental impairment that prevents you from demonstrating your knowledge and understanding any part or question of the naturalization exam?
No.
How long have you been waiting for me?
I have been waiting for about 1 hour.
I am sorry to have kept you waiting.
No worries, officer.
Do you need to use the restroom before we start?
No, I am fine, thank you for asking.
How was the traffic today?
Not too bad.
How did you get here today?
My husband drove me here.
Where is he now?
He is waiting outside for me.
Did you have any trouble finding our building?
No, officer, it was quite easy.
Are you ready for your interview?
Yes, officer, I am ready, but I am a bit nervous.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions before we start?
No, I don't.
If you do not understand any question, feel free to ask me to repeat it.
Okay.
Okay. Will you please stand up and raise your right hand? Before the interview, I will place you under oath. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the statements you are about to make will be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please put down your hand and take a seat.
Thank you, officer.
Do you know what you just promised?
Yes, officer. I promise to tell the truth.
Do you know what take an oath means?
It's a public promise that I have to do truthfully.
Please let me know if any of your answers have changed since submitting your application.
Sure.
What is your country of birth?
Mexico.
Can you please verify your date of birth?
It's September 2nd, 1996.
What is your current address?
5702 Bataan Memorial, Las Cruces, New York.
How many years have you lived at your current home address?
I have been living at the same address since I became a lawful permanent resident.
Has your address changed since you've submitted your application?
No.
Where else have you lived the last 5 years?
I have been living at the same address since last 5 years.
What is name exactly as it appears on your permanent resident card?
Maria Martinez.
Please spell your last name.
Martinez.
Have you used any other name before?
No.
Have you used any other names since your birth?
No.
Do you want to change your name legally?
No.
When did you become a lawful permanent resident?
I became a lawful permanent resident on December 15, 2016.
What is your mailing address?
5702 Bataan Memorial, Las Cruces, New York.
Can you verify your social security number, please?
170582105.
Are either of your parents U.S. citizens?
No.
Were your parents married before your 18th birthday?
No.
Where do your parents live now?
In Mexico.
What is the best number to reach you?
602-098-1068.
How did you get your green card?
My husband petitioned for me.
Are you currently single, married, divorced, or widowed?
I am married.
Have you brought any document that may prove your marriage legitimate?
Yes, here are a few documents along with few photos with my spouse and our families since our marriage program.
Thank you. How many times has your present spouse been married?
Twice.
What is the name of your husband's ex-wife, and what's her date of birth?
Her name was Camila Gutierrez Garcia, and date of birth was May 15, 1990.
On what date did your current husband's marriage with his prior wife end?
January 5, 2014.
Do you currently have with you your husband's divorce decree from his prior marriage?
Yes, I do have. Here you are.
Thank you. On what date did you get married?
On January 11th, 2015.
Have you had any previous marriages?
No.
Do you file your taxes jointly with your spouse?
Yes, officer.
What is your spouse's legal status in the United States?
He is a U.S. citizen.
On what date did your spouse become a U.S. citizen?
He became U.S. citizen on May 12, 2014.
What is your current spouse's full name and date of birth?
His full name is Hector Gonzalez Lopez, and date of birth is June 5, 1988.
Do you have your spouse's passport or birth certificate copy?
Yes, here you go.
Thank you. How did you meet your current spouse?
I met my spouse at a marriage program for the first time, and after that we met few times. And finally we fall in love and get married with the family permission.
Wow, that's great. Did you have any wedding program?
Yes, we did have.
Can you show me any photographs of your marriage program?
Sure. Here are a few photographs of our marriage program.
Thank you. What does your spouse do?
He does a job in a private company.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do have.
How many children do you have?
I have a son.
Where was he born?
He was born in the United States.
Have you brought his birth certificate with you?
Yes, here you are.
Thank you. What is your children's relationship with you?
He is my biological child.
What is your son's full name and date of birth?
His name is Santiago Gonzalez, and date of birth is May 5, 2016.
Have you taken any trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years?
Yes, I had 2 trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years.
Where were your trips abroad in last 5 years?
In Mexico and Canada.
How many trips of 24 hours or longer have you taken outside the United States during the last 3 years?
I have 2 trips outside of the United States, which was longer than 24 hours.
Where were those trips?
One of those was in Mexico, and another was in Canada.
What was the reason of each trip?
I went to Mexico to meet my parents, and went to Canada to visit tourist spots.
Is there any new trip outside of the United States since you submitted your application?
No.
Were any of your trips for 6 months or more?
No.
Where was your last trip abroad?
My last trip was in Mexico.
What was the purpose of your trip?
To attend a family program.
How long did you stay there?
I stayed there for about 2 weeks.
How do you support yourself?
I run a food court near my current address.
Oh, that's great. What kind of food do you serve there?
Especially Mexican and Chinese foods.
Do you have any employment history?
No.
Now we will go over your N400 application. If you do not understand a question, feel free to ask me to repeat it. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or gain immigration benefits in the United States?
No, officer.
Have you ever been a member of, or in any way associated, either directly or indirectly, with the Communist Party?
No.
Have you ever been in jail or prison?
No, never.
Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
No.
What does it mean to file a tax return?
To send tax paperwork to the government.
Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
What does register to vote mean?
To sign up to vote.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No.
What is immigration benefit?
An advantage that is related to immigration.
Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident?
No.
What is non-U.S. resident?
A person who does not live in the U.S.
Do you understand the meaning of have you ever?
In my lifetime.
Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense?
No.
Have you ever been a member of, or in any way associated either directly or indirectly with a terrorist organization?
No, never.
What is a terrorist organization?
An organization that uses violence against people.
Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training?
No.
Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution?
No, never.
Do you know what legally incompetent means?
Can't make any decision as per law because of mental problem.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason?
No, officer.
Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way?
No.
What does claim to be a U.S. citizen mean?
To state that I am a U.S. citizen.
Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes?
No.
Were you ever a member of, Or did you ever serve in, help or otherwise participate in an insurgent organization?
No.
What is insurgent organization?
A group who fights against a government.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense?
No.
Were you ever involved in any way with genocide?
No.
Do you know what genocide is?
To kill a whole race.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No, officer.
Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally?
No.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes.
What are non-combatant services?
Assist the military without engaging in fighting.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
Do you understand the meaning of bearing arms on behalf of the United States?
To carry and use weapons on behalf of the United States as per law.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes, I do.
What does the Constitution mean?
It is the supreme law of the land.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes.
Do you understand what civilian direction means?
The guidance by non-military personnel.
Give me an example to perform work of national importance.
To help with a major emergency like a fire, flood, or earthquake.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes, officer.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand what oath of allegiance is?
A promise to be loyal to the United States.
Now we will start with the civics test to test your knowledge of U.S. history and government. In the civics portion, I will ask you up to 10 questions. However, if you answer 6 correctly, I will stop. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
What is the rule of law?
Everyone must follow the law.
In what month do we vote for president?
November.
What are 2 rights of everyone living in the United States?
Freedom of religion. Freedom of speech.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson.
When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms?
April 15.
What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States?
Terrorists attacked the United States.
There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them.
Citizens 18 and older can vote.
Great job. You passed the civics test.
Thank you, officer.
Now we're going to move on to the reading and writing portions to test your ability to read and write English. First, we'll start with the reading portion. Please look at the tablet in front of you and read the sentence out loud for me. You need to get 1 out of 3 sentences correct to pass. Okay?
Okay.
Please read this sentence.
What is the largest state?
Correct. Congratulations. You have passed your reading test.
Thank you, officer.
Now we're going to move on to the writing portion. I want you to write the sentence down on the tablet that I'm going to say out loud. You need to get 1 out of 3 sentences correct to pass. Okay?
Okay.
Please write this sentence. George Washington was the first president. Correct. Please write this sentence. Alaska is the largest state.
Would you please say that once again?
Okay. Please write this sentence. Alaska is the largest state. Very good. Congratulations. You've passed the English reading and writing test. And also, you have passed your naturalization interview.
Thank you, officer.
Now I want you to review all of the information on the tablet to make sure it's accurate. Let me know if there are any mistakes.
Okay. Everything looks good.
Okay. So please sign the box on the tablet to affirm that everything you've said during the interview and all of the evidence that you've submitted is complete and true.
Okay. Thank you.
Please review the Oath of Allegiance section. Make sure you agree to all of the statements. Then you can print your name and sign and date on the tablet.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. I need to run a quick background check and copy all of your documents.
Sure. Take your time, please.
All right. Thank you for your patience. I've completed all of your copies. So here are all of your originals and the copy of your test result.
Thank you.
Now we can administer the oath.
Wow. That would be great.
Please stand up, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I hereby declare, on oath, that I absolutely and entirely renounce.
I hereby declare, on oath, that I absolutely and entirely renounce
And abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince,
and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince,
potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen.
potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen.
That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies.
That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
Foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law.
That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law.
That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States.
That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States.
When required by the law.
When required by the law.
That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law.
That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law.
And that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. From now you are officially a U.S. citizen.
Wow, thank you, officer. I am so happy.